as a retirement effective date letter, not actually resignation, but I think the Quorum Court was prepared to treat it as such as of October 1st, we effectively his resigned.
Which is the resignation, just a different word. I'm leaving my job, I'm retiring, that means I'm resigning from my work.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
I mean, we don't need to split hairs. There's also the fact that there was drugs involved with this. I can quote it from the Benton Courier. He was on the news and also quoted in the newspaper saying he had taken some kind of a prescribed drug and the combination of alcohol, which is what created the problem. Did anybody bother to say, what prescription drug was it? And do you have a prescription? I mean, we had a special, somebody investigating this, and I've searched the internet for weeks. I've read everything that's been published on this. Nobody investigated anything. Again, you can't, I can go over to that officer right now and take a swing at him, and that's a felony. I am arrested for assault on an officer. That's plain, simple English. He admitted, well, first of all, he lied about it several times, which takes him right back into the infamous crimes. He lied about the laws that he broke. He point blank lied about it. Now, eventually stories start coming out, a little bit said here, Lanny's been quoted, everybody's been quoted. You know, now we're down at the nitty gritty. There was drugs involved, whether they were prescribed or not, doesn't matter. You get pulled over for driving under drugs, whether they're prescribed or not, you were driving impaired. If you, in public impaired, state of Arkansas says you don't have to be behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. You just have to be in the vehicle.
Yeah, and I hate to interrupt you, but, you know, we have a 3-minute rule, we're trying to go by tonight.
Okay.
But this is a legislative body of the county government that you're talking to tonight. They're a legislative, they're not investigating, they're not, only thing they are is a legislative body. So you gotta understand what they do. Yes, we had someone else who wanted to speak. Please come to the microphone if you'd like to speak.
This states Arkansas, I don't have my glasses on, HB 1354, 2013, 89th General Assembly. A definition of an infamous crime should also encompass those 20 criminal offenses that led to a loss of public confidence, as well as 21 offenses in the nature of perjury or subordination of perjury, false statement, 22 criminal fraud, embezzlement, false pretense, or any other offense that 23 involves some element of deceitfulness, untruthfulness, and falsification. How many people in this public's confidence has been lost? Raise your hand. Anybody got confidence in our sheriff anymore?
Point of order. You need
Yes.
to direct questions at the Quorum Court.
You know, I kind of, when you look at famous and infamous, I kind of think of Jodie Foster is famous. Jodie Arias is infamous. And why? Because of her untruthfulness and her infamous crimes and all that. The level of deceitfulness from Sheriff Pennington, I don't see. He was drunk in a bar and outside of a bar, swung at officers and acted a complete fool. If I did that, I would have spent the night in the drunk tank. And so how much more deceitful can you get to be an officer of the law who passes out DWIs, who sends people to jail for DWI and sends people to Judge Robinson's court for DWI, and you're standing there doing the very same thing? How can anyone have confidence in that? You know, how can our children, the future of this county, how can What does it look like to them to say that we have a drunk for a sheriff? I don't see it, and if that's not infamous, and that's not a level of deceitfulness and untruthfulness, then I don't know what is. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Hold on just a second. Before you speak, Tammy.
I have a question for Mr. Greer. What is the AG opinion on removal of county officials?
You know, on the infamous crime? Does he have a,
I don't know.
does he have a, do we have a AG opinion?
I don't know that there is an AG opinion. You know, you and I were talking earlier. I know there was a court case. In fact, Special Prosecutor Highland handled it for his own judicial district, I think, where the Searcy County Sheriff had been convicted of a crime back in the 70s. And he sought his removal from office, citing the Article 5, Section 9 provision of the Constitution, which said that was an infamous crime. And the Supreme Court agreed with that. And to my understanding, they concurred with the Circuit Court's removal of that sheriff from office. Again, it took place in court, in the Circuit Court.
Jonathan, I think the public is believing that this has been an infamous crime. Would it be worth talking to the Attorney General and getting his opinion on this case?
Certainly, if that's I think that would have to come from the prosecutor, though, because again, I think the prosecutor is going to be the one to have to say, I'm seeking your removal from office based on it being an infamous crime.
You would have to go, you couldn't ask before a case, it would have to be bringing a case to get an opinion.
Not necessarily. You could ask the Attorney General, you know, in his opinion, would this constitute an infamous crime, especially considering the new language that's been adopted. I suspect, though, and oftentimes the Attorney General would decline to answer something that he sees might result in litigation, so he probably would decline, based on him knowing the facts of Saline County situation.
Okay.
How can we fire any other county employee for an alcohol offense if the sheriff gets away with it? Secondly,
Please state your name, would you?
Michael Lemons,
Thank you, Michael.
how can we fire any other county employee for an alcohol-related offense without a lawsuit to the county if the sheriff don't lose his job over the same thing? And secondly, how come the first letter of resignation cannot be upheld?
Hold it, I've got one other speaker. Yeah, Bud.
Hi, Bud Liddsey. A couple of statements real quick. I appreciate the position the court is in here. I know your hands are tied in a lot of matters. There are things you can do. One is go to your state legislator or senator, and they can question the AG for you. And that would be the quickest route to get an opinion on that. Another one is budgetary. Full budgets, full vehicles. You have that power as a court to pull any support from the court to this administration, and I encourage you to do that. Thank you.
Yes.
My name is Melanie McCann. I live in East End. A couple of questions. How do you expect us to follow the law if the law don't even follow it? Okay, I was taught that you do not get rude to the law enforcement officers because you'll end up with handcuffs on you, okay? But yet I see on the videos where a law enforcement officer is getting all rude and hateful to another law enforcement officer. What's happening to them? To me, nothing is happening to him. He's just getting a slap on the wrist. Okay, can I do that? Can I get a slap on the wrist and get sent home? Probably not. I'll get an orange jumpsuit. You know, what's the difference between me and him? That's what I want to know.
Thank you. Does anyone else like to speak before we go?
Tammy Newcomb. My question question is, or my concern is that Sheriff Pennington has broken his probation twice in a week. And nobody's taken note of it, nobody's reported it, and we have basically no evidence about it because it's not been reported and it's been hidden from the public. And if he can't even, follow his probation for a week, who's to say that he's not going to continue to drink and drive? And I'm concerned that, I have a 16-year-old that's out there driving. I have a 19-year-old that's out there driving on the streets of Saline County every day, not to mention all the others. And I'm just concerned that he's going to hurt somebody. And so I appreciate what Mr. Lindsay said, because I encourage y'all to at least take the vehicle away. If there's nothing else you can do right now, you should be able to take the vehicle away. It should have been gone the day after this happened. But I realize as far as criminal-wise, there's not a whole lot we can do at this point because he's pled and that's all been done. But I encourage y'all to at least take that vehicle away from him.
Anyone else like to speak?
I think that if Sheriff Pennington don't step down, this Quorum Court should call for a state police investigation of his department and also the jail.
Amen.
Okay, any other discussion before we vote? All right, if no other discussion, we vote. All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let the minutes note that there was no opposition. Is there anything else that needs to come before us at this time?
2013-21.
Thank you.
Judge, I'd just like to say on this that like many of the people here, I am frustrated that this is the most we can do at this moment. What this man done is wrong. You cannot be the chief law enforcement officer when you are on probation. You cannot in good faith lead that community. And we need to exhaust every opportunity we have to see that this changes. I understand that this is all we can do now, but we need to keep at it and figure out what else we can do.
I express the same concerns as many of the citizens. I believe we should pull the county vehicle from the sheriff. I agree.
I agree.
Jonathan, how do we go about doing that?
I will have an ordinance prepared for your finance meeting September 9th.
See you next Monday.
I'll have an ordinance for y'all to consider.
Okay, any other discussion?
Can you take his weapon too?
Yes. Ma'am, I don't know, I hadn't looked into that. I don't know the answer to that. I suspect him being law enforcement, there's something in law enforcement. that provides
Alcohol
him-
and badges and guns don't go together.
No, they don't.
Okay. Any other discussion? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no.
Did a good job. You did a good job. Oh, he wants to talk to you. I'd like a copy of that.
That's the, well, just take a look at it. You got my number, anybody have an extra copy of that? Call me or email me if you need anything.
Shelley knows, figuring out what terms of probation.
I heard about it, but I don't have a copy. And I wonder if that proof is good. Oh, I know how to get